Welcome to Enjoy Life. If you need a little push to pursue your goals, or some encouragement to take ownership of the areas of life you can control, then you're in the right place. I'm Nick Maisie, and I'll be your host, and I'll be your guide for this podcast. I'll be sharing with you all the things that I've learned through my journey, through overcoming struggles in my own life, earning a master's degree in psychology, and trying to be the best dad of two twin amazing girls that I can be. I'm going to share with you all the things that I've learned that will help you to choose your mindset, goals, and actions so that you can guide your life to go in the direction that you want it to go and enjoy it. I am glad that you're here, and let's get started. Hello, and welcome to episode 150 of Enjoy Life. Once again, like I said, I'm glad that you're here. I'm thrilled that you're here. Before we dive into today's episode, I do want to remind you, I do have that What's Your Goal Killer Solution quiz available. It's free to you. If you need a quick win, if you feel like someone's holding you back from making the progress or holding you back from taking action towards your goal, making your life what you want it to be, then definitely take this quick quiz. It only takes just a few minutes, and you'll get and the result is attached to it a goal killer solution. So it might be that quick win so that you can make that little shift so you can make some progress and really pursue your goals. And just go to nickmaisie.com/GKSQ. That's GKSQ for Goal Killer Solution Quiz. So it's nickmaisie.com/GKSQ. Take the quiz, find out that solution, and start moving toward your goals and pursuing the life that you want. On to today's topic. Today we're talking about two ladies and their plans. And I'm going to tell you a short story of two friends. They were both smart, strong women with a desire for a great life full of meaning and fulfillment. That sounds pretty great, doesn't it? They both had skills. They both were capable. They had skills that were going to help them succeed. In fact, they possessed everything they needed in order to achieve great things. One of them, Stella, absolutely knew that she was capable of making vast improvements to her life, and ultimately helping a lot of people. The other, Jane, she was certain she could do the same. In fact, they were similar to each other in almost every respect, except for one. Except for one. See, Stella knew her goal and made a detailed plan to achieve it. She laid out her plan. She worked on her plan, day and night, and she laid out every single tiny little detail about that plan to make sure that she knew everything that it was going to take for her to do. And she wanted that plan to be just right. And over time, Stella worked really hard to continue to improve that plan and make the little adjustments and refinements so that it got better and better and better, and she knew this plan was going to help her to succeed. And what about Jane? So Jane, well, Jane knew there was no such thing as a perfect plan, and so frankly, Jane didn't bother with making a plan at all. She figured that it was more important for her to take action, and that if it was meant to be, then she was going to succeed. And so that's what she did. She just went right after her goals and started going after them. So what happened to these ladies? Well, as the story goes, they both strive for their goals. Now, of course, Stella had the plan. Stella was the one with that plan that she was really wanting to be the best that it could be. But in fact, Stella was a little too focused on that plan. She was so focused on having the perfect plan and getting it just right so that she'd be prepared for anything that came her way, that she didn't really take action. She wasn't able to get started and really moving forward to her goals because she was stuck on that plan. Now, it was a good plan. But she got stuck there. The planning and the improving of that plan, it felt really productive. It felt like she was doing something. It felt like she was making progress. But that's what ended up really slowing her down, was making that plan just right, getting it just right. Jane, on the other hand, she's the one that just dove right in. She knew there was no such thing as a perfect plan. She knew that taking action was important, so she just started taking action, which is good. It's good to take action. You got to take action. You got to do the work to achieve anything. Now, of course, she didn't have a plan at all. And so she got a little further along, than Stella. but not much, not much. She quickly got frustrated and exhausted with all the challenges coming her way that she wasn't prepared for, that she didn't know how to handle, and she ended up getting off track because, well, she didn't have any plan at all. Before Jane knew it, she was so far off track and was just at her wits' end with not knowing what was going on, and exhausted from doing all this work and not making any progress, that she just felt like starting over just because she knew she was going to get anywhere. So what happened next? Did they both actually fully give up? No, of course not. That's not how the story ends. They didn't give up. They didn't give up. And in fact, they talked to each other. They're friends. And so they talked to each other, and they found out Stella put a little bit too much focus on having the perfect plan and getting it just right, and a lot more effort into the planning. And then Jane put a little too much focus on the just only taking action, no planning at all. Fortunately, like I said, being the smart, strong ladies that they were open to helping each other out and learning from each other. So what ends up happening is they figure out that the striving for the perfect plan might not be the best idea, and that having no plan at all and only taking action, that might not be the best idea ever. So learning from each other and helping each other out, Stella ends up accepting that there is no such thing as a perfect plan and decides to take action on her next step. She had that next step laid out pretty well. So she took action on that next step, just that next step. Didn't worry about planning step 50 when she was only on step 1. So she took action on that next step and started to make progress. And Jane learned a little bit of the value of planning from Stella. And so she started to plan out that next step and kind of had a rough idea of the milestones she was going to have to achieve in order to achieve her goal. So some of the big things that were going to have to happen, she knew what those were now, and she had detailed that next step that she needed to take, and she took it. So she kind of paired up a little bit of planning with that taking action kind of strength that she had before. And Stella took and dialed back that planning and took a little bit of the good learning from Jane about, hey, let's just take action on that next step. And now they are both able to make a lot more progress. In fact, they both got right on track, making progress toward their goals. And it was a grand day when they felt that satisfaction of guiding their lives to go in the direction that they wanted to go. They were choosing where their lives went, and they were making it happen. And do you want that same satisfaction in your life? Do you want that same satisfaction? Do you want to feel like, hey, you know where your life's going and you're making it happen? Well, if so, then learn from this. Learn from their story. It's a short, simple story, but the main part, the power is in that there's no such thing as a perfect plan, but still have a plan. Just have an idea. Have an idea of what it's going to take. And then know that next step. That's where I like the good idea planning. If it's a good idea, it's not perfect. It's not going to have every single detail that you're ever going to need to do, because there is no such thing as a perfect plan. But when you have a good idea, you kind of know what's next, and you're willing to adjust that idea as you need to along the way to achieve your goals. But you're taking action. You're not waiting for the perfect plan. You're taking action to move forward towards your goals. And that's what I want you to take from the story of these Jane and Stella, and how they kind of dialed into the right amount of planning so that they can take action towards their goals. And that's what I want for you and your goals. I want you to have a good idea, just a good idea, enough that you know the major things that you're going to need to do, enough that you know your next steps you're going to take, and then you take those next steps with the actions that you're going to make it happen. You're going to make it happen. And if you're struggling to make some progress, if something's holding you back, you might have a goal killer that's stopping you from either taking action or achieving your goals. Then I have something just for you. It's the What's Your Goal Killer Solution quiz. What's your goal killer solution? It doesn't dive into all the different goal killers out there, because I want you to get a quick win. If you need a quick win, then this is for you. It's what I mentioned at the beginning of the episode. You just go to nickmazy.com/GKSQ. for Goal Killer Solution Quiz, GKSQ, nickmazy.com/GKSQ. And there's a few different solutions out there that can be the quick win to help you to overcome a lot of goal killers that might be standing in your way. Go there now, take the quick quiz. Like I said, I think it's about 3, maybe 4 minutes-ish, and you'll have a personalized video specific to your goal killer solution that might help you just to make some of that progress that you need for your life. Because I want you to have it. I want you to have it. All right. Take that quiz, take action. That way you can pursue the life that you want and enjoy it. That's what I'm here to help you do. All right. Thank you for listening, and I can't wait to talk to you again soon. I really hope you enjoyed that episode and got some value out of it. If you did enjoy it, please rate and review this podcast, either on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. It will really help more people find it. There's so many podcasts out there these days that I really rely on you to share this material so that more people can find it. You can always just share it with a friend. You can send them to nickmazy.com, or like I said, rate and review this podcast. Any of those is a huge help, a huge benefit, and I sincerely appreciate it. And also, I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to connect with you. You can find me on Instagram, just at Nick Mazy. Send me a message. Tell me anything that you like or how I can improve, or just information you'd like to hear about on this podcast or through any of my material. And as always, you can go to nickmazy.com for more resources and topics just related to helping you guide your life to go in the direction that you want it to go and enjoy it.